Beneath the surface, our soil holds the memory of everything we put into it. For decades, farmers and industries relied on pesticides to protect crops from pests. The results were undeniable: bigger harvests, fewer losses, and the promise of feeding a growing world. But what happens to the chemicals after the harvest is done? They don't just disappear. Many pesticides are designed to be persistent, clinging to soil particles for years, sometimes decades. Scientists call this the toxic legacy, a lingering chemical footprint that continues to influence ecosystems long after the spray tanks are empty. In rural Kansas, researchers found traces of DDT, a pesticide banned over 50 years ago, still embedded in the soil. In parts of Australia's sugarcane fields, residues of atrazine are being detected in waterways miles away. This is history speaking to us in the language of contamination. Today, we are beginning to understand the full cost. It's not just about the crops, it's about the life in the soil, the water it touches, and the generations who depend on it. The ground beneath our feet is telling a story. The question is, are we listening? From miracle to menace. When synthetic pesticides first appeared in the 1940s, they were hailed as miracles. Chemicals like DDT promised to wipe out crop-killing insects and eradicate diseases like malaria. Farmers could grow more food with less risk, and hunger seemed to be losing its grip. But there was a catch. These compounds were built to last, resisting breakdown in sunlight, water, and soil. The very strength that made them effective became their greatest danger. Rachel Carson's Silent Spring in 1962 was the first major warning, her words igniting a global environmental awakening. By the time many pesticides were banned, the damage was already embedded in the earth. Some residues migrated through the soil into rivers and aquifers. Others disrupted the delicate balance of microbial life underground. Even today, the legacy of early wonder chemicals continues to ripple through our food chains and ecosystems. Our progress came at a price, and while new chemicals promise to be safer, history reminds us that safe can be temporary. The real lesson? Nature always remembers. Soil is alive. In a single teaspoon, there are more organisms than humans on Earth. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and earthworms, all playing roles in an intricate underground economy. Yet pesticides can shatter this balance. Studies in India's Punjab region revealed that pesticide-heavy soils had up to 70% fewer beneficial microbes than untreated land. Earthworm populations, a vital indicator of soil health, plummeted. Without these silent workers, organic matter breaks down more slowly, nutrient cycles stall, and soil loses its natural ability to repair itself. It's not an overnight collapse. It's a slow fade, unnoticed until crops begin to struggle and yields drop. Farmers may respond by adding more fertilizer, unknowingly feeding a cycle that deepens the problem. The soil's biological diversity is like an insurance policy for agriculture, one that protects us against disease outbreaks, drought, and erosion. When we lose that biodiversity, we lose resilience. Beneath our feet, the silence. When pesticides travel, soil doesn't hold on to everything. Some pesticides dissolve in water, moving with rainfall and irrigation. They seep into groundwater, drift into rivers, or evaporate and return in rainfall miles away. In Australia's Murray-Darling Basin, scientists detected farm chemicals in streams 100 kilometers downstream from their source. In the U.S. Midwest, atrazine has been found in drinking water supplies long after spraying season ends. These chemicals don't just stay on farms, they cross boundaries, ecosystems, and even borders. Fish, amphibians, and aquatic plants suffer the consequences first. Then, the contamination comes back to us, through the water we drink and the food we eat. It's a reminder that soil contamination isn't a local problem. It's a moving, evolving challenge that ignores property lines. The invisible journey of these chemicals connects every raindrop, river, and root system in ways we can no longer afford to ignore. Human health at risk when pesticides linger in soil. They can find their way into crops and into us. Studies have linked long-term exposure to certain residues with health risks, including hormonal disruption, neurological disorders, and cancer. In Argentina's soybean regions, where pesticide use has soared, communities report higher rates of birth defects and chronic illnesses. In California's agricultural heartlands, farm workers are on the front lines, often exposed to soil dust-carrying residues from decades past. The danger is often invisible. You can't taste it in your food or see it in your glass of water. But over time, small exposures can add up, especially for children, pregnant women, and those living near contaminated fields. The link between soil health and human health is not abstract, it's direct. The soil feeds the plants feed us, and we inherit whatever the soil holds. Protecting soil isn't just about protecting farms. It's about protecting families, communities. Soil's slow recovery. Soil can heal, but it takes time. Without fresh contamination, microbes slowly break down residues. Plants draw up chemicals, and natural processes dilute and detoxify the earth. In Cuba, when chemical imports declined in the 1990s, farmers turned to organic methods. Over time, biodiversity returned, soil fertility improved, and contamination levels dropped. Similar recovery stories are emerging in parts of Europe where pesticide bans have been enforced for decades. The process can be sped up with regenerative practices, cover crops, composting, biochar, and microbial inoculants. These methods help rebuild the living network in soil, allowing it to naturally detoxify and restore itself. The soil's resilience is a reminder. Even after decades of harm, there is a path back, but it requires patience, commitment, and the will to change how we farm. Every seed we plant in healthy soil is a step toward undoing the toxic legacy. Farming without the toxic footprint. Around the world, farmers are proving it's possible to grow abundant crops without leaving a toxic legacy. Integrated pest management, crop rotation, and biological controls are replacing blanket chemical sprays. In Denmark, nationwide policies reduced pesticide use by over 50% without hurting yields. In Kenya, smallholder farmers use natural predators, like ladybugs, to control aphids in vegetable crops. Technology is also stepping in. Precision sprayers apply minimal doses only where needed, while AI-driven drones monitor fields for pest outbreaks before they spread. The solutions are here. What's needed now is the will to adopt them and the support to help farmers make the transition. Healthy soil is not a luxury. It's a foundation for food security, clean water, and a stable climate. By choosing better methods, a role of policy and community. Individual farmers can't solve the pesticide problem alone. Policy matters. Community action matters. In France, strict buffer zones now protect rivers from farm runoff. In California, pesticide application is tracked publicly, giving communities transparency about what's being sprayed nearby. In Costa Rica, nationwide education campaigns have shifted farmers toward organic certification, boosting both health and market value. Communities can demand soil testing, push for stricter safety limits, and support farmers who choose cleaner methods. Governments can incentivize sustainable practices and penalize repeat polluters. This is more than environmental policy. It's a public health policy, a food security policy, and a generational responsibility. When communities unite, they can change the way food is grown, and the soil itself can begin to tell a different story. The soil's story isn't finished. The choices we make today on farms, in markets, in policies will decide whether our legacy is one of harm or of healing. We have the knowledge to prevent another century of chemical accumulation. We have the tools to restore what's been damaged. And we have something even more powerful, the understanding that soil is not a resource to be exploited, but a living partner in our survival. Imagine a world where every farm leaves the soil richer than it found it, where rivers run clean, harvests are healthy, and the land holds no hidden poisons. That future is possible if we choose it. Beneath our feet lies the foundation of all life. Let's leave behind a legacy worth inheriting.